Hi everybody and welcome back to Angie Uploaded. I have a news story for you today. I hope you stick around, grab a snack, grab a drink, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you haven't, tap that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. Here we go. So our story today comes out of Caledonia, Michigan. It is about a little boy named Rowan Morey. Now, again, there are some things in this world that I will never understand, and this one right here is the epitome of the primest possible example I could ever come up with. Today, we will be talking about Rowan Milford Morey, a 6-year-old beautiful little boy. Please note, I'm not calling it a case because there's really doesn't seem to be a case at this point. Rowan was born August 31st, 2017 to Brandy Morey Poles. He loved spending countless hours with his siblings, Pokemon, and dreamed of becoming a golf champion one day. He was also looking forward to playing flag football with his new team. He had a smile that could melt your heart on an icy day. He also loved cracking jokes, making silly faces, and the color orange. I ran across this story on TikTok, and I watched several of Brandy's videos. And you could see the love he had for her and she for him. You could also tell how much they both enjoyed their Jeep time. There was a split custody agreement between Brandy and Rowan's bio dad, Michael Winchell. Now, Brandy says there had been signs of something happening during his visits with Michael. For instance, he had shaved Rowan's head 4 times, which to Brandy was to hurt her, as she is a hairdresser. The first time was after court had to be adjourned to lower Michael's child support payments due to Brandy's being diagnosed with breast cancer and having to have a mastectomy. The second time was a week prior to Brandy's oldest son's wedding. Brandy also stated that Rowan had begun self-harm and described a time they were sitting at the dinner table, eating as a family. Rowan wasn't pitching a fit or mad about anything, but he slammed his face into their metal high-top table. She picked him up and asked why he had done that. He looked at her and simply said, "I don't know." She had put him in counseling through their church. Brandy also said that he would continue to put bruises on himself by squeezing himself tightly. She had already reached out to CPS and was told she was wasting resources. She continued with the counseling and tried meditation with Michael, but nothing worked. Because of this split custody agreement, Rowan had to go over to Michael's house on August the 12th, 2024. He was due back at 9 a.m. on the 19th, but he never showed. So Brandy tried to file an emergency custody motion on the 20th, but the judge denied it. At 10 a.m., she called a wellness check from the sheriff's office, and they said they went out and they said that no one was there. Now, she had remembered a black truck and a white camper being at the house when she had dropped Rowan off. Now the truck and the camper were gone. She thought, well, maybe they're camping, which they had done a couple years prior. Also, it's good to note that phone calls between Brandy and Michael were almost non-existent. He would constantly say that he doesn't have a cell phone. She could use the house phone, leave a message, and then she could never leave a message. Then she could only get him by email, and then he would block her. So that type thing. Hours had ticked by, and Brandy and her husband were instructed to go to Isabella County, which is where Michael's house was. Now, this was about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Kent County, where they resided. They were basically instructed to go to Isabella County Sheriff's Department and get in their face and explain the situation, but to no avail. She then goes to the Michigan State Police. By the way, the sheriff's office told the state police that this is a civil matter to take her report and send her on her way. Oh, and Michael was a felon. Wednesday morning, Brandy left the house, and Kent County sheriffs pulled in. Brandy gets back to the home, walks in, and the very first person she sees is her pastor. Her husband's crying, and then she sees her parents. It hits her like a ton of bricks. So, the camper had actually never left the property. They just pulled back a ways from plain view. Mike's sister found Rowan and Michael both deceased You could tell it was obviously by a pew-pew, both apparently done by Mike. Brandy has no time of death at the moment, but with body cam footages, news footage, reports, it is estimated that the time of death was Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Allegedly, had Isabella County searched the property, they may have found Rowan and Michael sooner. So Brandy is now demanding and seeking changes to be made, for an Amber Alert cannot be issued if a child is with a custodial parent. Many agencies require 48 to 72 hours before you can issue a missing persons report, which she was able to do. She did list him as a missing person at some point, but she could not have an Amber Alert issued due to the criteria of him being a custodial parent. She believes in all FOC cases that all parties must have a mental health evaluation, and if red flags are shown, you get supervised visitation until it is deemed that you are okay and suitable for unsupervised visitation. She plans to start a non-profit called Rowan's Law to include parental abduction as a criteria for an Amber Alert. She only cares now about trying to save other children and other families from having to go through what they've gone through. There has been a GoFundMe set up to assist with expenses that they incurred for the funeral and the headstone. The link will be in the description below, as well as a link to the podcast Like Mother, Like Murder, where you can hear a full interview from Brandy herself. So guys, what do you think about this? Now, it appears that Brandy did everything right. She did everything that she could possibly do, and she was denied an emergency motion during the middle of this. It was deemed a civil matter. The custodial parent stipulation. I mean, it was like she was knocked down everywhere she turned. She had had these red flags. She knew something was going on. And in the end, she lost her baby because of stipulations. And I believe she has every right to go in and try to make a change. And I am here for it. But I want to hear what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. I know it's easy to say, you know, I hope you enjoyed the video. But nothing about this is enjoyable. But I do hope that you will like the video, subscribe, comment, and share it out. Hopefully, at least, the links will get out there, the information will get out there. Maybe Michigan will have their ears on. Hopefully, change will be brought about because of Rowan's short but beautiful life. And again, thank you for watching.